Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR today for Wednesday, January 6th, 2021. I'm the man they call Meathead, and it's Wednesday morning, and we're joined every Wednesday morning with the man they refer to as Matthew Thomas. Matthew, how's your internet connection this morning?
Oh, it's wonderful. I had the technicians here last week, shortly after last week's final PWR show, and they got the dial up working again, and it's working like a charm.
So what you're saying is you went to the Blockbuster, got yourself a new AOL free 30 days disc from the counter.
Yep. My Prodigy subscription had expired, and I've installed the 56K, man, and I got to tell you, I think that's the future.
Yes,
just don't try calling me between in prime time when I'm using the internet, because you're not going to get me.
Best spot of the whole night. I said this in the pre-record, and we got to put this on tape. Well, let's try to check in with Matthew Thomas, see if he's still there. Nope. Let's move on.
I feel like it adds some realism to it, because when you're going live via satellite to places, that that it's live and that it's happening in the moment. And I feel like it really added that element of anything can happen here.
See, when they were doing Nitros and Thunder and they were reaching out to Stagger Lee Marshall, he always answered the phone. He was always, at the next city trying to set up things. And I feel like Stagger Lee Matthew just failed us.
Oh, yeah. Well, you could have done that and just had it was kind of like the Stagger Lee picture. It was a frozen picture. So at least you had that component. You didn't have the audio, but who knows? Maybe if I'd have just dialed 1-800-COLLECT or something, we would have gotten it taken care of.
We could have went that way, but let's go this way and talk about our sponsors. First off, Manscaped.com. It is getting cold. Denver, I know, it's got to be covered in 17 feet of snow. Plus, they don't have a football team playing anymore. So, obviously, they need to get themselves some gear from Collar and Elbow brand. But first, Manscaped.com. The promo code PWR saves you 20% putting on all your winter gear after you get Manscaped and get silky smooth. And you're getting that from collarandelbowbrand.com. PWR 360 will save you 10%. Keep yourself warm up there in the Rocky Mountain High. Matthew, the only thing entertaining that happened in Denver on last Sunday, the final season of final game of the season for you guys, because again, Denver's terrible. But I was rooting for McManus. Did you see he tried a 63-yarder to end the game?
Yeah, and that's up here in our high elevation. So sometimes that can work.
He had a chance. I mean, there really was a chance.
Yep.
Until it got blocked after he kicked it.
Yeah. But it's the effort that counts sometimes.
Did you guys know that you lost beer on that kick?
Lost beer? No, I did not know I lost.
Yeah, there was apparently a bet between the cities of Detroit and Denver over some Bud Lights. Whoever had the longest field goal for the season.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. We don't drink Bud Light here. I mean, this is the home of Coors. We don't touch that Bud Light stuff. So, yeah, I just assume not to have it.
Might have been Coors. I don't know. I mean, and once Coors bought Miller, because I'm from Milwaukee. So once they bought Miller, I mean, they're all in cahoots now.
It's all one big happy family.
Fair enough. All right. Let's talk wrestling. We got a lot to get through, and we want to try to keep this a clean and crisp 20 minutes. First, let's talk Impact Wrestling from last night. AEW World Champion Kenny Omega shows up again on Impact. He's along with the Good Brothers. I heard Tony Schiavone refer to them as the Winnipeg Mafia. Did you catch that?
I did. I like that. I think that can work. It kind of rolls off the tongue, doesn't
it? Well, a lot happened AEW-wise. They got business done in Impact as well. Now, I had been asleep or not paying attention, but did you know Jazz is back in Impact?
Yes, I've not seen much of her Impact work, but I had heard that, and she in the tournament they've been having, correct?
Yeah, in the women's tag team tournament. I did not know Jazz was bald either.
Yeah. No, I had seen, like I said, I haven't seen much of her Impact work, but I had seen a picture or a little clip the other day, and
I had to double check my work. I'm like, is that Jazz?
Having quite the resurgence.
Yeah. All right. So, but again, what we really were there for was to see what Tony Khan and Tony Schiavone had to say. Dude, Tony Khan says, you know what? I help the wrestling industry. I bought time on your show. My grandma left me $100 in a Christmas card. I might spend it on something fun. I might buy more time on your show. I lost it. Dead one actually got me.
Yeah, no, I mean you gotta put your grandmother's Christmas money to good use. There's no doubt about that.
There was a time when my grandmother gave me money for a birthday or a Christmas or something. I said, Grandma, I bought bus passes. I got a bus pass for the week. She goes, what are you doing? Buy something fun with that. Are you going to get a bologna sandwich next? Go get something fun with that.
Well, hey, a bologna sandwich is fun.
Hey, have you ever slept on a bologna sandwich?
I never have, but it sounds like something I should do.
Have you ever stacked up 3 bologna sandwiches in a row and made a pillow out of them?
No, but that does sound intriguing.
Well, I tell you what, why don't you come get arrested in Milwaukee? And then when they hand out the sandwiches for the night, that's your pillow.
Interesting.
Not that I know anything about that.
Yeah, I don't know that I would, faced with that situation versus me not consuming 3 bologna sandwiches or not having a pillow, I might go with not having a pillow.
I eat the bologna sandwiches.
Yeah.
But apparently they had Peter salt in it too. That I'm not aware of. But
let me ask you this: have you ever had a fried bologna burger?
Of course.
Yeah. They're very big in the southern part of Virginia. So they, I didn't know if it was a regional thing or if bologna burgers
Duke's peanut butter or whatever, Duke's mayo.
Duke's mayo, which you cannot. So I misspoke several months ago on this very program about about not being able to get Peter Pan peanut butter in Colorado. You actually can. It just turns out that I haven't looked for Peter Pan peanut butter in 5 years. It's been here the whole time. So that little excitement about my Florida trip was, that was misinformation. But Duke's mayonnaise, it is a very well-known fact. That is a regional thing. You cannot get it anywhere in Colorado. I did have some of that in Florida, though. So,
yeah. Do you know why I bring up Duke's? You saw what happened, right?
Why do you know? I'm not aware.
Duke's Mayo apparently makes the worst college football trophies ever because the Wisconsin Badgers win the Duke's Mayo College Bowl and proceed to break the trophy.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, that's when you're as big in the Mayo as Dukes are, you just need to stick to that. I mean, they're not known for their trophy.
Well, the coach Paul Christie was quoted as saying that he felt that every player should have a piece of the trophy. So when it broke into 1,000 pieces, he also meant every student. He meant everybody living in the Madison area and everybody that wanted a piece.
And, I mean, you can potentially put some of that on eBay and have your very own little piece of trophy, and there's some money to be made on that.
Fair enough. And I just got done telling you before the show, we're going to make this a crisp, clean 20. No shenanigans, right? Here I'm talking about freaking mayo and peanut butter.
Yeah. I mean, we can stretch that out and get to the rest of the stuff on another show. I think we got a pretty good flow about the mayo.
So let's talk real quick about what else happened on Impact. There was a Motor City beatdown, and not for the Motor City Machine Guns. They got stomped outside the tour bus that Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers were at. The Motor City Machine Guns and Rich Swann got a beatdown, something fierce, while you have Don Callis trash talking. We are getting close. It's January 16th is when Hard to Kill comes up, and I'm waiting for the other guys to get a shot in.
Yeah, this is fun. Like I said, I think this is getting a lot of eyes back on this at TNA. It's getting a lot of eyes back on Impact, and it's something we really haven't seen. I mean, we saw WWE and ECW when they were still technically ECW, and WWE was technically WWF.
Right.
96, I believe it was.
Around there. That's where RVD, Tommy Dreamer, all those guys showed up.
You had a working relationship there. I mean, anything else that you've had going years back, the invasion with WCW, WWF, that was, when both companies were owned by the same,
right.
They were both one and the same. So this is that interesting kind of little hybrid working relationship deal here that I think will be beneficial for both companies. I mean, I think it stands to benefit Impact much more now than it does AEW, but just knowing that olive branch is there and that camaraderie is there is very encouraging to the wrestling industry as a whole.
Let's talk Impact and NXT coming up for tonight. Here is the card so far for tonight. This was pushed out a week with the Brody Lee tribute that happened last week. Now we are on night 1 of the New Year's Smash. Capped off tonight, it'll be the heavyweight champion, Kenny Omega, AEW heavyweight champion, taking on Rey Fenix for a shot at the belt. You're also going to get the Young Bucks and SCU in an 8-man tag versus the Acclaimed and the Hybrid 2. Jericho will be on commentary all night long. Snoop Dogg Dogg will be in the house as well. Hager, Wardlow. This is a match, actually, without hyperbole, without, getting overhyped. I've actually been kind of interested, and we're supposed to get it tonight. We're also going to have Sheeta, the women's champion, taking on Abaddon, and the return of Jon Moxley. That is a stacked AEW card. What are you looking forward to the most? Me singing again, or actually wrestling?
I did enjoy the whole singing thing. That was fun. No,
by the way, I got to cut you off there for a second. We're all thinking about Dr. Dre. I went right from Snoop into Dre. Dre is in the hospital right now. He had a brain aneurysm, and we're all thinking about you.
Absolutely.
All right, and back to
transition from that. I mean, I think the main event is going to be a heck of a wrestling match. And this is a match where you really have to go into it, even without suspending your disbelief. There's going to be a title change here because expect Omega to keep that title for a long, long time. This is a match that is going to be a heck of a wrestling match. You are going to see, I think the phrase match of the year was tossed around last week on AEW in the preview. You're going to see a very, very fun wrestling match. So go into it with those expectations. Don't expect a title change here, but appreciate it for what it is. And I think that is going to be the highlight of the night.
I think we have to wonder, is there going to be any interference? Is there going to be something happening in this match? Could it be from Impact Wrestling? Could it be from Jon Moxley?
Yeah. Give us some Impact people on. I mean, that would feel fun and special. We've been conditioned to expect it on Impact. We haven't seen them in, and I'm assuming we're still coming from Daly's Place in this episode, right?
Yeah, and, we talked about it, Linda and I did, that they might be moving out. It's getting a little cold in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Which makes absolute sense.
Yeah, no, that's reasonable. I mean, this is just something until this year you never really had to think about. I mean, working outdoor venues through the winter. And yeah, you're in Florida, man, but it can get chilly. So that sounds reasonable. And I mean, I think that Daly's Place has gone above and beyond and served the purpose there. And the visual that they have had during this whole era has been, unlike any other company's had. I mean, WWE is doing a great job with the Thunderdome, and that is what it is, and it's this different aspect. But I think, I think that Dynamite has consistently, as far as the presentation, consistently felt the most normal during this whole time period as anything has. So it's definitely served the purpose there, and you're seeing week after week. You're noticing the progression of the commentary team, and I always gauge the weather by Austin and Billy Gunn. What are they wearing? Oh, they've got full winter coats on this time. It must be really cold, and you've seen that gradually change week after week. So hopefully they'll. And I have no doubt that they will find somewhere. I mean, that week that they even had, they were even in the gym, QT Marshall's gym. They made that place look solid. So I have no doubt that whatever venue they end up resting on, they'll make it look very presentable.
They had Jericho Cruise where they could get away for a little bit, and they did it on that cruise ship for a while. Mm-hmm. But it's time. Daly's Place was easy because, Tony Khan, I believe his father is the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the stadium's right next door. So that was just natural, right? Find a place to hang out for a month down in Miami. That's the talk.
Maybe they get that cruise ship again and just go out into international waters.
Oh, yeah.
This is very reminiscent of the SummerSlam in the submarine.
Oh, yeah. We all live in the SummerSlam submarine.
Yeah, that was that. I think that was pretty close to happening.
Okay. Well, let's talk WWE. Let's talk NXT. They counter-programmed for night 2 of New Year's Smash, but you're getting night 1 from NXT. So they have a stacked night. It is New Year's Evil, and it's starting at 7 o'clock, and it's going to be commercial-free for the first match. Here's the matches that they have. No rhyme or reason as to which one it is, but here's what they have. Finn Balor, Kyle O'Reilly to tangle for the NXT title. You've got Damian Priest going up one-on-one with Karrion Kross. That's 2 pay-per-view quality main events right there. Rhea Ripley, Raquel Gonzalez in the last woman standing. That's another pay-per-view match right there. Grand Metalik challenging Santos Escobar for the Cruiserweight title. And Zia Lee and Boa set to return. And this is all being hosted by Dexter Lumis. Holy smokes. We've got a lot of wrestling tonight.
Yeah, it's a very interesting dynamic, especially as it pertains to, I really think the booking of Karrion Kross is what to watch here, because this is your former NXT champion. He's not coming back immediately to challenge for the title. He is in more or less the second from the top event match, not even really a semi-main event. I think it's the second from the top here. I'm very curious to see what they do with that. I'm curious to see what they do with the main event as well, too. You've got to think that there is an urge to get Kross back into the title picture sooner rather than later. And now Kross took the title off of Keith Lee, correct?
Kross took it off of Keith Lee.
Yeah. And so, Balor has kind of ended up with this title kind of by happenstance, not plan A. I wonder if they are going back to a Kross title reign sooner rather than later, if it doesn't make more sense, if it doesn't protect Balor a little bit more for Kross to take it off of Kyle O'Reilly. So I don't think that the outcome of this title match is a given. It was a solid match the first time around. It really took it out of both guys, but I'm not saying that it's necessarily going to happen, but it would not shock me if there is a title change.
Okay. It's, again, and it wouldn't shock me either, because it's a big night. They promoted this night, and they're counter-programming against what they think is going to be AEW big night as well, which was their night too. So we'll have to see. I mean, they don't have Snoop Dogg. Maybe they can get, I almost said Dr. Dre. Oh, good God. I am so sorry. Dr. Dre's on my mind. What I was thinking of when I heard Dr. Dre's name come up today was the beginning of what was our show called now, where we were doing Nitro recaps?
Oh, it was, it was PWR Reaction. That was still under the Reaction moniker, right?
I think so. But
yeah. Oh my goodness. That's right. That was the, that was the,
because that was Dr. Dre and, I almost said X-Pac. God. Tupac.
Yeah, I mean,
California Love.
Dr. Dre and X-Pac, I could see that collaboration. That would be almost as interesting as the Kevin Nash and Red Fox collaboration.
Ooh, I can't wait to see that.
When I had internet reception during the final PWR show, I do remember Damian saying that Red Fox was actually featured in a movie with Kevin Nash here recently, which surprises me, the state of, being that I thought Red Fox was deceased. But, moving on, I look forward to that movie.
Yeah. Well, what they're doing with technology nowadays. So Deep fake.
Here's the thing, though. If you had a Red Fox hologram acting alongside Kevin Nash, people would pay to see that.
I'd pay to see that, because I'd pay to see Kevin Nash go, oh, it's the big one. Oh, it's the big one.
There's money there, and not just us. You go that route. That's not just people in the wrestling community. That's a blockbuster right there.
Wow. Okay. Well, again, we've got a lot of big stuff. We don't even know who the host and co-host are going to be tomorrow night or tomorrow morning for PWR Reaction. Davey Nelson's gone, folks. We'll have to talk that one out. We'll have to talk to everybody and see how that goes. Well, we've got a lot of big wrestling talk tomorrow for sure. And again, don't forget our fine sponsors over at manscaped.com and collarandelbowbrand.com. And Matthew, I don't know if you heard the news. Uncle Al's taking over.
My reception cut back in for the middle part of that. So that's what I've heard. Very big, exciting news coming PWR way.
Well, we're definitely going to keep coming your way. No pun intended. So for Matthew Thomas, I'm the man they call Meathead. Hey, thanks for stopping by. So long, everyone.